How should television anchors go about covering this volatile race and interviewing Donald Trump? I sat down with the host of Fox's On the Record. Greta Van Susteren, welcome.
Nice to see you, Howie.
How do we cover this crazy campaign in such a hyper-partisan atmosphere where Donald Trump is often depicted not just as unprepared or even bigoted, but crazy and a threat to Western civilization?
First, we can all take a breath.
Yeah.
And we can all step back. And there are two ways to do it. We can either hammer him and hit him over the head. We can do that to Secretary Clinton, too. Or we can just ask the hard, tough questions. We can actually do it politely and probing and blunt and get the same information and let the viewers/voters decide.
Well, you've interviewed Trump many times, more than I have, and you often ask him about what his critics say, let him respond to it, but how much of a challenge is it to interview this guy who's known for sort of barreling his way through interviews?
Well, I let him talk. I mean, but that's the whole point, Howie. People don't tune in to hear me talk. They tune in to hear him talk.
Oh, you get the big ratings. What are you talking about?
No. Listen, the viewers look, if I ask him a question, I let him go. You know, if he's going to say something wild and outlandish, that's his problem, not mine. I'm not going to be part of it. I'm not going to provoke it. I'm going to ask him the straight questions. And then I'll come back to him. I ask him a follow-up question. I mean, one of the big questions was about his taxes. And now he goes out and he says that I say that I advise him not to release his taxes, that we're in audit. Well, if you read the whole quote, I said, yes, if I'm your lawyer, I say don't release the ones that are in audit, but there are a lot that are not in audit, and release those, and I'm not your lawyer. So if I'm your political advisor, release them all. But that doesn't get talked about.
Megyn Kelly said the other day that the media loved Trump during the primaries, big box office attraction, but now the mainstream media hate Donald Trump. Do you think that's going too far?
I think the media often takes sides. Yeah, and I think it takes sides. And I think the media sees which way the wind is blowing. And I think a lot of people don't go beyond the Beltway or New York City, and I think they talk to each other and party with each other. I mean, look at it. When you hear the media use the same words to describe something. For instance, Trump's speech the other night at the convention was dark. They all use dark. How do they all come up with the word dark? Or when Mitt Romney chose Paul Ryan to be his VP, they all said it's a bold choice. Well, these are just dead tips officers just listening to each other. They're watching way too much cable TV.
Or following each other on Twitter.
Or following each other. They need to get out more and actually talk to the people instead of listening to each other.
Right, but what you're suggesting is that it's not a level playing field, and this is what Donald Trump says all the time. Dishonest press, not being fair to him.
Well, he knows how to come back at it. I mean, he takes to Twitter. Look, I have no sympathy for Donald Trump or Secretary Clinton. And they can have as much airtime as they want. Anyone wants to talk to them in the media business, so no boo-hoo from me that they're not being... If he wants to come on and explain something he thinks has been unfair, he's welcome to come on my show and explain it.
Right, but obviously Hillary Clinton has done far fewer interviews. You have not been able to interview her in this campaign. You've certainly interviewed her in the past.
Yeah, 8 times traveled with her overseas.
Is she being, especially in the last couple of weeks, is she being overshadowed in this campaign because there's so much about Trump? Trump did this, Trump did that, Trump's down in the polls.
No, she's not being overshadowed. She's playing the media game. She's smart. She knows. I mean, a lot of Democrats won't come on Fox News because they think they use it as sort of a fundraising tool. Money comes in over the transom when they complain about Fox News and then send out their emails to people looking for funds. Look, she knows what she's doing. She can have as much airtime as she wants. She's never going to be overshadowed. If she's overshadowed, that's her decision. That's her strategy.
By design. So to the extent to which Trump is getting hammered for just about everything, do you think this reflects the fact that many journalists...
Some of it is deserved. I mean, look, when people get hammered... Yeah. I mean, yes, okay.
Okay, he's made mistakes, and those should be covered, and sometimes he keeps negative stories alive because he keeps talking about it. But at the same time, do you think that some journalists, you talk about New York and Washington, you know, everybody they know doesn't like Trump, and therefore there's a certain kind of groupthink that sets in?
No, but I think that what happens is I don't think anyone's willing to all of a sudden, at sort of each unit of time, to step back and look what he says and sort of analyze it. I mean, you know, I think that once you're sort of on that roller coaster ride going in one direction, you can't reverse it. Whether or not whether or not Trump ever says anything that perhaps should get a different type of reporting, I think people are pretty much set in their ways now on Trump.
So you're seeing a lack of context.
Yeah, but look, he deserves a lot of it. Lack of context, but he deserves a lot of it. But you know, he's fiery. He's people put the cameras on him and he talks. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve a lot of this or even all of this. I'm just saying that the media, sometimes the media doesn't have independent thinking. Bold, dark are my examples.
Guilty. Greta, thanks for going on the record with us.
Thank you.
Good to see you.